There is another success story in Central America, of all places. And it's not Panama, not Costa Rica, it's El Salvador. Yes, El Salvador. A while ago, not even but 2 years ago, El Salvador was a bad place to be. At night, in the day, anywhere. MS-13 was running around rampant, whacking people left and right. Until this guy got elected, President Bukele. Bukele? I think that's how you pronounce it. And as soon as he got in there, he decided to, I don't know, do what's best for his people. Now, again, what he did was remove some liberties. I guess, for libertarian mind, that's probably a bad thing. But at this point, there's really nothing else he could have done to have stopped the rampant gang violence in El Salvador. So what did he do? Well, I'll let him speak to you all. So this is a while, I think a couple days ago, a week ago, something like that. He nukes a BBC reporter for criticizing his tough crime crackdown in El Salvador. Now let's listen to what he has to say, because it's very important. Because some of us may not like his methods or his motives, but that is an El Salvador problem. That is not an American problem. That is not a Venezuelan problem. That is not an Argentinian problem. This is an El Salvadorian problem. And he, for all intents and purposes, he fixed it relatively quick. Much like Javier Milei receiving a budget surplus, where he met the budget, in January, just after taking office, in December. I mean, it's crazy. But let's listen to what he's got to say.
We took the recipes from the European Union. We took the recipes from the United States. None of the recipes worked. More bloodshed, more people were dying. So what do? Okay, we do something and we save people. And now we're the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. But suddenly something's bad. Oh, but you shouldn't do that. You should do what I think you should do. Why? Not only we have the right to do what we think is right, and what the Salvadoran people are going to decide whether or not they want this day in free elections, but also we've proven it works. And you haven't proven that your system works in our country. Might work in yours, I don't know. But it doesn't work in ours. It's like
Now, let me just point something out here. As a libertarian, I maybe not be the best libertarian out there, because I like a strong military to protect what's ours. But what he was saying there is that he tried, or his predecessor tried all different sorts of actions and motives and different, things to do to stop the violence. And it didn't work. He tried the United States. He tried the European. He tried Costa Rican, Panamanian ways of doing things. Didn't work. He had to do something. And, well, what he did worked for El Salvador. It may not work for the United States, but El Salvador is a sovereign nation. And again, I want to point out that that is their problem. That is their issue. It seemed to have worked. Good for them. But to suggest that we should interfere with other countries' business is stupid. Now, if they ask, you should obviously advise, but you should let the El Salvadorian people fix their own problems. And that's exactly what this guy did. He fixed the problem that was out there. Maybe you may not like the methods, but it worked.
I told one time a member of the European Union, I know you Brexited that, but I told a member of the European Union, you take your best government, choose your best government. I don't know what's the best government in Europe, but you choose your best government. Same people, same talent, same experts, same will to do things the right way. You take your best government and you put him to govern Afghanistan and tell them, okay, you govern Afghanistan the same way you govern this European country. You'll be dead in a week, because you cannot govern Afghanistan like you govern Europe. So stop trying to make us use your recipes, because they don't work here. You have your own system. We don't tell you that you shouldn't have a monarchy. I mean, we're fine with your monarchy. We love your monarchy. It's fine. But we don't say, oh, you shouldn't have a monarchy and you shouldn't have hereditary titles. Why? Because it's your country. You can do whatever you want with it. But suddenly we have to do what you want to do with our country. So, but what I'm gonna finish the question is that This has been proven by all of you and by all independent sources. El Salvador was turned from the most dangerous place in the world to the safest in the Western Hemisphere. That's not a small feat, and that's not done easily. And nobody in the world has ever done it before, so fast and so clean like we have done it here, with no civilian casualties. So, I don't know. I know it's different. I know the numbers from the UK and ours will be different for maybe a couple of decades, but we're doing our best here, and we're really trying, and the Salvadoran people today are going to vote freely in free and fair elections and in full democracy and choose their own path.
And that's the key point there, choosing their own path. And unfortunately, in our country, the United States, it's getting harder and harder to choose our own path because we have a totalitarian government, for all intents and purposes, basically dictating how we live our lives and what we can say and what we can't say. And we're having rampant crime in big cities. And you have a country, yeah, it's small, of El Salvador. They had a law, they were dangerous. AF. Dangerous. You didn't want to go there. There was, you check the CIA fact book, you didn't want to go there. Within about a year, he changed it all. He fixed it. His methods work in El Salvador. Now, it may not work in the United States, but they're a sovereign nation, and they get to decide their own fate. And they chose wisely. As far as I can see, this guy here, President Bukele, he fixed it. Now, whether that holds true in the next 5 years remains to be seen. But there is a pattern here we're seeing in Central and South America. You're starting to see the people of these countries start to think that maybe we shouldn't vote in socialist douchebags who keep raping and pillaging our country. Maybe we should perhaps, vote in somebody that actually looks after the interests of its citizens. The United States should probably take notice of El Salvador and President Bukele.